Hello, everybody, and welcome to a joint webinar by Sophion and the AIM Institute. My name is Greg Katikia. It is a great pleasure to be here, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are joining us here today. This is webinar number one, part one of a three-part series where I am honored to host Paul Heller and Dan Adams, who I'll introduce in just a moment. Today here at part one, we're going to focus a little bit on how to optimize the front end of your new product development process for business to business. As we are focused on today, new 2022 research shows how B2B optimized voice of customer interviews in the front end boost new product success. And we all understand that important customer discovery process. By the way, participants today will receive a free copy of the 25-page research report. Today, we're going to see how to eliminate most commercial risk, leaving you with just the technical risk. Learn how VOC, voice of customer skills, separate the winners from the losers and why they matter. And a bonus, learn 10 advantages of virtual VOC and 8 tips to become a VOC pro. Dan, if you would move the slides forward, let me be so bold as to introduce our great speakers here today, both of them who have spent their careers in innovation, in new product development, most importantly, applying their experiences and their skill sets to make their customers successful. Let me start with Dan Adams. Dan, many of you may know, is the founder and president of the AIM Institute. He's also the author of New Product Blueprinting, the handbook for B2B organic growth, a book that I've read. I can tell you it's a terrific read, and it's very, very instructive and very informative. In over 35 years working within and with Fortune 500 organizations, he's explored all the aspects of B2B innovation, building new product blueprinting from the ground up. He is a chemical engineer, which means it's the smartest, that's the pecking order, that's the best of all the engineers, right, Dan? I'm only a lowly imaginary, I'm only an industrial engineer, as my father called me, an imaginary engineer. He's a holder of many patents and innovation awards, including the National Inventors Hall of Fame. And it's an honor to have you here. Paul Heller also joins us here today. Paul has led strategy and product development for many years at Sophion, since helping create the company way back in 1999. Today, his leadership as the chief evangelist of Sophion helps our blue chip client portfolio achieve high levels of success for their investments in innovation. And Paul regularly blogs. More importantly, for us, he also regularly hosts a fantastic podcast called Innovation Talks with Paul Heller. That's a good name since you're the host, Paul. Thanks, where he discusses the latest in innovation. He has amazing guests who talk about innovation, new product development. Check it out. It's on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. With that, until I come back for the Q&A section, I'm going to turn it over to Dan Adams. Thank you, Dan.
Great. Thanks so much, Greg. Boy, it's a pleasure to be here. As Greg mentioned, we're going to be flying low through this, going really fast. We'll start fast and leave skid marks, but we'll leave some time at the end for some Q&A. And so Paul and I have got this all figured out. Paul, you're going to take the hard questions, and I'm going to take the easy ones. Is that what we decided?
Is that what we agreed there? Okay.
Well, today what we'll do is I'll be doing most of the talking. Tomorrow, Paul will be doing most of the talking. And then I guess on day 3, we'll both be doing most of the talking, Paul. So if you didn't hear what you were hoping to hear today or tomorrow, hang in there. We're going to kind of glue it all together on day 3. But let me go over the agenda here. We want to start with customer needs. This is probably obvious, but we're going to share a little bit of research on this with you. We want to talk about specifically, as Greg mentioned, why this is really important for B2B companies. And we're going to have a little bonus in there, some virtual VOC things we've been learning the last couple of years thanks to the pandemic. And then finally, there's some new research we did at the AIM Institute, some evidence on how important it is to have good voice of customer skills, front-end innovation, understanding of customer needs. So hang on, let's get through this kind of quickly, and then we'll get to the Q&A. So Bob Cooper has done amazing research over the years, and he has found that when companies finish their front-end work and move into development, they typically have about a 25% success rate. Now, if you're doing Six Sigma, you have 3 defects per million attempts, and here we are over in product development with 3 defects per 4 attempts, which is pretty bad, right? So let's step back a little bit and think about why this might be the case. You know, there's probably 2 innovation problems we have to solve. What's the right question, or what does the market want? And what's the right answer? What are our solutions for this? Now, it turns out that the problem that most companies spend most of their time on is problem 2. Research shows about 90% of a typical project spend is working on the solution. But when you ask the question, well, which problem leads to most new product failures? We've got 5 decades of research that says it's inadequate market analysis, going all the way back to 1971, and that has continued. So that's the problem we have, but it's actually even a little bit worse than that. When you think about many people's new product development process, many of them have a little idea over on the left with a little light bulb there. No problem with that. But when you ask them, well, whose idea was that? Was that yours or the customer's? The typical answer that we hear is, well, it was our idea, something we thought customers wanted. Then we validated it, we developed a solution. And then if you ask them, well, when did you really understand market needs? They might say, well, I guess when we launched the product to see if anybody would buy it. So you say, okay, you started with your solution, you ended with the market needs. What if we switch these? I know this is just crazy talk, but what if we started with market needs and then ended with the supplier solution?